Deepika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love. We make relationships better. Today we're going to talk about the gap between what women want and what men want. This is a very important question. I was very curious, so I thought let's jump in. Let's talk a little bit about what research is saying. It is important to note that research is consistently demonstrating that men and women are more alike than different. They share an almost identical brain structure, similar needs and wants, and need for connection and achievement, and generally want the same things out of life. The differences really are in our nuances. For me, I've been married for 2 decades. Marriage is of my highest priority because for my husband and me, for both of us, our worldview is the same, where marriage is a partnership of equality. We believe in equal parenting. We are a good tag team. And best thing about our marriage is that we view everything from a lens of equality. It is about what can I give you and not what he can take from me. And the magic in our marriage is that we both invest in our personal growth and development. We both are self-aware. We help each other leverage our strengths so that as a couple, we can feed off each other's strengths and help each other be our better selves. So the goal really is to appreciate our similarities and accept, respect, and celebrate our differences. So I want you to pause and just think about, really, let's find out what men and women really want. What is it? The question really is, what do you think women want from men? What do men actually want? What do you think men want from women? And what do women really want? This is a question that we need to ask as men and women, especially when we are in a relationship. So I'm here to share with you first what men want. Men are socialized in boyhood to conform to what the culture values are called masculine. This includes being in control of one's emotions, not whining at any cost, and not showing vulnerability. In fact, just yesterday, my husband and I were having a very open and honest conversation about how he feels vulnerable at times. We were discussing something regarding our finances, and he was so open and honest to express his vulnerability, and I really applaud him for it, because really when you invest in each other, in your relationship, then you give each other the permission to show your vulnerability, because that is a part of the human experience. Men who do not wholeheartedly conform are often stigmatized socially and may be viewed by others as feminine in some vague way. And we have a 17-year-old son, and he definitely rebels against this idea because he really believes that as man and woman, we have both energies, masculine and feminine energy, and it's really on parents to raise a whole child where you're in touch with both your masculine and your feminine energy. And as women, we often reinforce the same gender conditioning that pushes men away. A more effective approach is to buffer this harsh cultural reality by keeping few points in mind. So if you're a man or a woman, here is some data points for you. First, please understand, what men want, he deeply wants you to like him and to love him for himself and not just what he can do for you. Male socialization teaches that their value is in their agency, that is their ability to act, take charge, control, win, achieve, lest he receives the sissy scorn. Do not let this superficial part of him mislead you. Underneath these layers of conditioning is a child who, just like you, wants to feel loved and appreciated for who he is. He desires someone who can be okay with him even when he is not whining, producing, or on top of things. He may not be able to tell you this, so when he's feeling not so good enough, you may not even know it. Unlike women, men have more difficulty talking about their weaker emotions. And that's why we are very conscious as parents. We have 3 children, we have a son, we have 2 daughters, where in our house, all feelings are welcome. We learn to express our weaker, our unpleasant emotions in a healthy way. If you keep this in mind, you may notice other important things about your man. How funny is he? How nice is it to spend time with him? How do you like talking with him about your day? These are few things for us to keep in mind. Number 2, he wants you to like yourself. This is a big one. If you are using him to feel okay about yourself, I'm here to tell you it will never be enough, and you will be constantly in a search of the next boost. He experiences this as dependency and can become burdensome so that he's not free to be his authentic self. In addition, there is typically a correlation between how women are unaccepting of themselves and their tendency to criticize and hyper-control their man in their lives. Well, I'm guilty of the same until I realized that what my man was really seeking for me to actually like myself first. This invariably leads them to tune out and avoid women in their lives if they feel that they are being controlled or criticized. And this is something which is universal. Number 3, he wants you to believe in his ability. Newsflash! It turns out all that propaganda about men not being able to communicate is wrong. Men actually can communicate. We have a 17-year-old who is emotionally very aware and expressive. He expresses his feelings of hurt, anger, anxiety, stress, frustrations, because we have in our home, we have allowed and given our children the permission to express the entire rainbow of emotions. There is obviously an effective way, the right way of communicating. Men do know what they think and feel. So instead of shaming him when you can tell him he's trying to express something vulnerable, take him seriously. Ask him questions. Be sure to thank him for trying to talk to you on this level. This is transformational. As man and women, you can really connect at a deeper level if you do that. He will be able to talk more, and you will be able to see that under this exterior of manliness is a man who speaks articulately and has feelings very similar to you. Please try this. This is very, very effective. Number 4, he wants you to be playful. He wants to see you let go of control and be spontaneous, playful in the moment with him. He loves having an opportunity to deepen his bond with you and engage without any agendas. He feels as if he's a real person who you see, who you hear, who you love, who you admire, not just a piece you move on your chessboard of tasks. Last, he wants you to know that boys do cry. Deep down, just like you, men are vulnerable beings. And like I told you, we had a conversation yesterday, my husband and I, and he felt vulnerable and he expressed it in the most beautiful way, and I thanked him for it. Do not punish or minimize if you see even a hint of sadness. Let him have his moment, just like you want your moment. He may or may not cry, and certainly men are typically socialized to cry less than we women. However, it is important for his negative emotions to be validated and heard, because this is a human need. Offer him one place in the world where he can unconditionally bring his full self to the table, where you will not judge him. That's the goal. In our marriage, the goal really is to judge each other less, to use words that are not hurtful, to communicate with awareness, with empathy and understanding, because like I said, we all have the same needs. We all want to be treated with love and respect. Now let's jump on to what women really want. And if you're a woman and you're watching this, these are a few of my learnings and I would love to share with you. Women don't need partners who invest all their energy in trying to prove how strong, manly, macho or heroic they are. They just want men who are willing to meet them where they are and treat them fairly and with equality. This is definitely a big want and need that I have. And we are able to make sure that the romantic sparks keeps burning because we feel heard, we feel appreciated, we feel the fair treatment. So number one thing that we women want, respect. Mutual respect is non-negotiable. It is all or nothing proposition. Once a person loses respect for a partner, you know it's only downhill from there. Women should be given the same respect that men offer other men. When a person is made to feel disrespected or patronized, the relationship is likely to end sooner rather than later. This is a need for every woman and man too. And we made a whole video on respect comes from respect. So if you want respect, it really comes first from you giving it. Number 2, true heartfelt alliance. Women need the men in their lives to be allies who want to see the women in their lives succeed every bit as much as they want to enjoy their success. And their success could be anything. It could be their home, their work, anything that gives them a feeling of accomplishment. Emotional maturity. It's okay to have some childhood fun when it's appropriate, but it is important for men and women to behave as grown-ups when time demands so. Being emotionally aware, emotionally expressive is a part of being emotionally intelligent. In our house, our children and my husband and I are allowed to experience the entire rainbow of emotions. However, there is an effective way. There is a positive way of dealing with our emotions, and it is our prime responsibility to model it with each other and at home. Emotional maturity helps us deal with both our positive and our negative emotions in a healthy way, and that's what leads to being mentally strong. Being aware that brute strength does not equal intelligence is also helpful in maintaining healthy communication and connection. Sometimes it's better to just sit back and think through the problem before trying to manhandle or force yourself in a situation. Next, true companionship. Love, marriage and relationships is about companionship and partnership, which go a long way in having deep, meaningful friendships. This is what creates that special bond that leads to long-lasting relationships. No one realizes how little energy they might have for sexual activities once kids arrive, or job demands become longer, or illness or disability occurs. There will be times when loyal companionship is what both of you need the most from each other. This is extremely important. True companionship is everything. When it comes to romantic connections, deep down, most men and women want the same things: acceptance of who they are, love, and positive reinforcement for what they do well and for what they are trying to contribute towards each other and the relationship. I hope this video was useful to you, to everyone at home, if you're at work, because this is all about understanding the differences, the gaps, celebrating our differences, respecting them, and appreciating our similarities. And as I just said, and research is saying it, that we all have more similarities than differences. Men demonstrate that research is demonstrating that women and men are more alike, share an almost identical brain structure, have similar needs for achievement and connection. Hope this information is useful to one and all. Thank you for all the love, for all the encouragement. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring.